Now we're just going to walk through a quick index trade, index CFD trade, just to give you a much better understanding of functionality and how it all works. Up the top here I've noted under contract specs that we're going to trade the FTSE 100 just to keep it local, and we're going to trade a contract that is £10 per point, as you can see. Now, the reason I point this out specifically is it's very important you know the contract specs when you're trading, whether it be in the US, Asia, Europe, or anywhere else around the globe, because the contract specs in particular will then help you determine the exposure you're going to have to the market when you trade. So it really is vital. In this case, we're going to go £10 per point. The reason this being is I trade a DMA CFD index product, which means it goes straight through into the futures market, and therefore the standard contract spec there is £10 a point. Some providers, generally market makers, will offer you a much smaller contract size. Obviously the smallest being £1 a point. Some of them offer a mini halfway between £5 a point, but again, very much a market maker product, whereas being DMA, they'll give you the same contract specs as the underlying futures market. So down to our actual trade, again, we're going to buy one, which is going to be our quantity. Now let's say our opening purchase price was when the FTSE was at 5,700 points. Now in this case, because it's £10 a point, we take our opening price and we multiply it by our contract specs of £10, so £10 a point, so multiply it by the 10. That will give us our total exposure of £57,000. Okay, so quite large, especially for one contract. But it just again just shows you how important it is to know what your contract specs are, because if you'd accidentally bought a few more, you could have a much greater exposure than you'd expected. Being DMA, again, I don't pay a spread, which market makers will have. They won't make you pay commission, they'll make you pay a spread, so they'll widen the spread on the position or the contract. In this case, I pay a flat fee of £10 per contract, so there's my £10 commission, 3% margin, which comes to 1,710 quid. Of the £57,000 exposure we've got. So our initial outlay is £1,720, obviously inclusive of our commission. So we roll overnight. We predicted that the FTSE 100 would go up, and it has. It's gone up 50 points, as you can see here, now to 5,750. We're going to close the single contract again. We haven't bought any more. So the position exposure we're closing is £57,000, 500. Now, the commission again, flat fee of £10. The reason I keep the exposure there is just to show you the change in exposure, although because we're paying a flat fee, it doesn't really matter. Financing paid, again, I'm with a DMA provider. Futures contracts don't attract or incur any financing costs. With a market maker, if you're trading a much smaller contract or something along those lines, then the chances are you'll be paying financing, and usually more than that of just a standard equity CFD or something along those lines. So definitely keep an eye on that one. Total outlay is now, because we're up to £20 obviously in comms, is 1,730 quid. Our gross profit's £500. Take off our commission of 20 quid, leaves us with £480 for that trade. So a huge net return on investment, I should say, of 27.75%.